At some point in your 20s, you will hand a stranger several £100, and in return, they will give you a key to a building they own, and you will live there until they decide you can't anymore. This is the primary housing arrangement for roughly a third of the country. Nobody thinks this is strange. It starts with the listing. The listing is a document written by someone whose job is to make a property sound appealing, regardless of what the property is actually like. A small bedroom is cozy. A dark basement flat is intimate. A property with no outdoor space has easy maintenance. One that backs onto a dual carriageway has excellent transport links. There are photographs taken from an angle specifically chosen to make each room appear larger than it is. The bathroom photo is always taken from the doorway with a wide-angle lens. You will arrive at the viewing and discover the bathroom is the size of a large cupboard. This will not be the last time this happens. The viewing itself is conducted by an estate agent who is moving at a pace that suggests they have 8 more of these to do today. They open the door, gesture broadly at the room, and say something like, "Good-sized living area." You look at the living area. It is not a good size. You say nothing because you already know you are going to take it. The bedroom fits a double bed in the same way a car boot fits a large suitcase. Technically true, not the full picture. There is a window that looks directly into the window of the building next door. This is described as having an outlook. The kitchen has a washing machine in it. Not next to the kitchen, in the kitchen. You ask if there is any flexibility on the price. There is not. You take it anyway, because everything else was worse. Before you can move in, you have to be approved to rent the property, which involves a referencing process conducted by a third-party company that charges you for the privilege of checking whether you are a suitable candidate to pay someone else's mortgage. They will ask for 3 months of bank statements, your last 2 payslips, a reference from your previous landlord, and proof of your right to rent. If you are self-employed, this process takes significantly longer and involves proving that the money you earn is real money and not something you invented. If you have recently started a new job, they will ask your employer to confirm your salary in writing. Your employer will not do this quickly. You will chase your employer. Your employer will send the wrong document. You will chase them again. The referencing company will tell you the application is on hold. 3 weeks later, you will be approved and you can now pay to live somewhere. The deposit is roughly equivalent to what it would cost to go on a fairly nice holiday. You hand it over, understanding that you will get it back when you leave, as long as you leave the property in the same condition you found it. You will leave it in the same condition you found it. You will not get it back. Not all of it anyway. There will be deductions. The carpet in the second bedroom shows signs of wear. You lived there for 2 years. The walls require repainting. You did not paint the walls. You asked once about painting one wall and were told no. The landlord will send an itemized list of deductions accompanied by quotes from contractors who charge significantly more than the work is worth. You will dispute this through the deposit protection scheme, which exists specifically for this purpose. The process takes 6 weeks. You will receive most of it back, not all of it. You will decide it is not worth pursuing further. The boiler will break in February. This is not a prediction, it is a certainty. In the same way, it is certain the sun will rise and there will be roadworks on the A57. You contact the landlord. The landlord says they will get someone out. 4 days pass. You contact the landlord again. They are waiting to hear back from their usual person. 3 more days pass. You are showering at your gym. You are pretending this is fine. Someone eventually comes to look at the boiler. They look at it for 20 minutes, write something down, and leave. A different person comes the following week to actually fix it. The whole process takes 11 days. The landlord texts you afterwards to check everything is sorted. Everything is sorted. You say, thanks. At some point, you will ask if you can put a picture hook in the wall. Not several hooks, 1 hook for 1 picture. The landlord will say they would prefer if you did not, as it would need to be filled when you leave. You will not put the hook in. You will lean the picture against the wall for the duration of your tenancy. You will also ask about getting a pet. A small pet. A cat, possibly? The answer is no. The property is not suitable for pets. You look around the property. It is a flat. Cats live in flats all the time. This is not considered relevant. You will also ask about painting a wall. Not all the walls. 1 wall. A specific wall that you have identified as the wall you would like to paint. The landlord will say they would prefer if you did not, as they would need to repaint it when you leave. You will not paint the wall. You will look at the wall every day for 2 years. The inspection happens twice a year. The landlord or their representative comes to the property you live in, walks around it, opens a few cupboards, and writes things on a clipboard. You clean for 3 days beforehand. They are there for 11 minutes. They say it all looks fine. There is a small note in the follow-up email about keeping the oven cleaner. You have been keeping the oven clean. You clean it again anyway. Maintenance requests follow a specific life cycle that never varies. You report the issue. The landlord acknowledges the issue. 2 weeks pass. You follow up on the issue. The landlord says they have not forgotten about the issue. Another week passes. Someone comes to look at the issue, but not fix the issue. They need to order a part. The part arrives. A different person comes to fit the part. The issue is resolved. The landlord asks if everything is okay now. Everything is okay now. 6 months later, the same issue happens again. The rent review comes once a year, and it only goes one direction. The letter explains that due to current market conditions, the rent is increasing. The market conditions are not specified. The area has not changed. Your bedroom is the same size it was last year. The boiler still breaks in February. None of this is considered relevant. You have 2 options. You can accept the increase, or you can move, which costs approximately the same as a small car when you factor in the new deposit, the removal van, and the administrative fees charged by the new letting agency for the privilege of processing your application to give them money every month. You accept the increase. Some landlords communicate exclusively via WhatsApp at times that suggest they do not work a conventional schedule. You will receive a message at 7 a.m. on a Saturday about renewing the contract. You will receive a message at 10 p.m. on a Tuesday about an upcoming inspection. You will send a maintenance request on a Wednesday afternoon and receive a response the following Monday that says, "Noted, we'll look into it." Other landlords do not communicate at all and route everything through a letting agency, which charges both you and the landlord for the communication, which means you are partially paying for the privilege of being ignored slightly more formally. The letting agency has fees for everything. There is a fee for referencing. There is a fee for the tenancy agreement. There is a fee for renewing the tenancy agreement, which is the same tenancy agreement with the date changed. There is a fee for checking out, which involves someone coming to the property you are leaving to confirm that you are leaving it. You will pay all of these fees. None of them are optional. None of them are explained until you ask. Eventually, you will decide to buy somewhere. Or you will not decide, and it will just become something that is no longer possible. Either way, you will spend several years saving a deposit for a mortgage. The deposit for a mortgage is different from the rental deposit. It is larger. It is also not refundable in a different way. You will need roughly 10% of the property value, which in most parts of the country is more money than you have ever seen in one place. You will save for this while also paying rent, which makes saving for it take longer, which means you pay rent for longer, which is an arrangement that benefits exactly one party and it is not you. The stamp duty is a tax you pay for buying a house. It is paid on top of the house. It is not included in the price of the house. You find out about it quite late. And somewhere, right now, a landlord is having a conversation with a letting agent about what they can realistically get for the property per month. The property is also someone's home. This distinction is not part of the conversation. They are not being unreasonable. That is just how it works. Because that is just what you do.